Hello friends, long time no see. Sorry about that, haven't posted in a while. But how the hell are you? Today I've got something special for you. I think every time we make a video it's special. This one feels a little more special. It's an unboxing plus the first kind of reactionary casts with a brand new reel that I'm super excited about. Maybe you've heard of it. The Curado DC, super exciting. Played around with this thing in the past and have my own now, and it's time. It's time to open it up, and it's time to spool it up. It's time to cast it. Let's do this thing. Let's open it. It is secured by only the finest quality little tiny sticker. And for that, we need the ultra dramatic knife opening sequence. Something so satisfying about doing that. All right, let's get her open. All right, pretty stoked to get started here. This is an intimidating looking set of instructions. Oh my goodness. It's like the Lego set from hell. Look at that thing. This is intense. Come on, bubble wrap. Yes. There it is. In all the glory. The details. And of course, a nice handy dandy little bit of the oil, little of the lube, if you will. All right, we've got this bad boy open. It's time for step 2. All right, we are all spooled up. We're all ready to go. It didn't exactly have what I wanted. I was gonna get the P-Line Fluoro Clear in 10 pound. So I just went with 10 pound fluorocarbon. I'll probably switch that out later. Actually might end up putting braid on this reel. But the important part is we just needed something on there to do first casts, right? So it is now time to let the sun set on today and pick this up tomorrow out on Lake Lanier and get our first reactions tossing this thing at some spotted bass. So I will see you tomorrow in a short moment in video time, and we'll get some first casts in. All right guys, so welcome to beautiful Lake Lanier on a overcast and possibly rainy summer day, typical day here in Georgia in the summer, but we've had a lot more of that this year it seems. But we've got the Curado spooled up. We're gonna take some first casts, give you some GoPro footage of that as well. And one of the things we're gonna do is test out this system that they have. There's a little wheel up here on the top of the reel, and this wheel has 4 positions, a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and it also has the open position. The purpose of that is to help you get better casting based on what it is you're throwing and on your skill level. So I'm going to start at level 4, which you should be able to cast without even putting your thumb on the reel. And we're going to start with a spinnerbait. Might change it up to a couple different baits and try out different weights and things of that nature. So let's take a look and see what this looks like. All right, so here we go. First cast. I've got the setting on number 4. I'm going to try to cast this spinnerbait out without putting my thumb on the spool whatsoever. You can hear that hum that it makes, which is really cool. That feels super smooth, no backlash whatsoever. Nice easy cast. Let's do that again. Let's keep it on level 4 and give it another shot. Okay, so as it goes in the water, I think you still got to put your thumb on the spool as it hits the water, because you're going to get that backlash. As you can see, I've got here for myself a little bit of a bird's nest. We'll just pull that out. So you can cast it, you don't have to feather the spool with your thumb, but as it hits the water, you do want to mind the inertia being stopped by the bait hitting the water. So that's something to keep an eye on. All right, so I'm cranking down here. I'm putting it on level 3. Let's see if we have an improvement on distance. Definitely more distance. The spool moves at a much freer level. Not as much tension. The magnets aren't doing as much work. You can feel it spinning freely. Now the danger with that is as you go down in the levels, the level 2, the level 3, etc., if you have a lighter bait, that bait is not going to keep the same velocity out in the water as it will when you immediately throw it. So you might start to get backlash before you even hit the water. So this is a spinnerbait, pretty good. I think it's, I don't even know what this is, what the weight is. Pretty good weight though, 1/8 maybe quarter. I can get some good distance, no backlash. Let's take this thing down to level 2. So now I'm on level 2. I should have a much freer spool, especially compared to level 4. Let's see what kind of distance we get, and also pay special mind to any backlash. Not too bad on the backlash. I could feel it coming up just a little bit under my thumb. I did feather the spool just before it hit the water. All right, so final test here. Gonna put it down here on this level 1 setting. That is the freest that this spool can go. The magnets will do very little, I think. And let's see what kind of distance we can get. Now with that one, I definitely felt the line starting to come off of the spool before it hit the water. Almost immediately after I chucked it. So if you're fishing a heavy jig, something like that, that level 1 will be fine. But you put a crankbait on there, oh, that might have been a fish. You're probably going to run into problems. I wouldn't put a crankbait on, I would say, anything below level 3, especially in windy conditions. You're going to run into some issues. All right, that was fun with the spinnerbait. No problem going from 4 all the way down to 1. And you'd expect that on something that heavy, but I'm going to switch it up now. I've got a weightless Yamasenko, just a little offset hook, no weight whatsoever, of course, and I'm going to start at 4 again, and we're going to see how far we can go down. I wouldn't anticipate being able to take this one all the way down to 1 without giving myself quite a headache. So Probably won't do that, but we'll see. We'll switch back to GoPro, see what we get out of this. All right, so the weightless Senko. Back up to number 4 on the dial here. No problem on number 4. Of course, you don't get a lot of distance, right? That's kind of what you would expect. Just not a lot gonna happen there distance-wise. But with this system on the Curado now, you know, you can really probably use a much wider variety of baits, I would imagine. I could see myself using different baits and not having to have as many specialized reels and rods as I go along, because I can just use the magnetic braking system, and even though it might not be something in the weight range that you would expect for the equipment, you can have a wider margin of error. Let's take one more cast. Let's put it on the 3 and see what that feels like. So I've got this now on the 3 weightless Senko. Definitely added about 10 feet to the cast. No backlash once again. It's a pretty good range for a bait not having any weight on it. Start to see some drops there on the water, which means we got to get off. Electronics, man. What can you do? All right, guys, so there it is. Even on a weightless Senko, ooh, thunder. It is definitely time to get out of here. But even on a weightless Senko, I could take this thing all the way down to the setting of level 2 on the magnetic brakes, and it worked like a dream. It was beautiful. I wouldn't take it down below that, and on a windy day, I wouldn't go down to 2. I'd probably stay on at least 3. And that'd probably be the lowest I would go. But so far, I'm loving this. Those are our first casts. I hope you have enjoyed it, and we will see you again next time when we are out on the Chattahoochee River. Have a good one.